Hi, my name is Rebecca Louise French, and I'm here today to talk about ascension. Now, outside of the spiritual world, ascension can have many meanings, and essentially does mean to ascend or to go up. Within the spiritual world, though, there are many and varied definitions of what ascension is. So, in this video today, I'm going to share with you what ascension means to me. And to me, I think of it as consciously living. So I see that we have two choices in life. We can look at life as something that we're born, we live our number of days on earth, and we die. That things happen to us, whether good or bad. There is no fate, there is no reason behind it. Life is just life. And then there's the other viewpoint that we're going through this journey called life to learn about ourselves, to better ourselves, to learn and grow and develop, and to be more aware of our surroundings. Some people can coincide ascension with awakening, and they put the two together, which is also quite true and valid as well. And you see that awakening as this waking up to realizing that life isn't just you're born, you live, you die. That there really is a purpose for us being here on this earth. And when we look at the situations we go through in life, whether they be trials and tribulations or joys and wonderful moments, that we can look at those and say, well, what can I learn from that situation? How can I grow as a person? How could I handle a similar situation differently in future? And through that, we are growing, or essentially ascending, rising up as we better ourselves and change our awareness of how we interact with the world around us. Now, when it comes to ascension, you might have heard that there are ascension symptoms or things that happen to you when you are consciously living. Now, these can be as simple as some people saying there's like ascension flu, which means you feel kind of congested and yuck and weighed down by life, and you're not sure what caused it. And yet, on the other side of your ascension or spiritual flu, you actually realize that everything looks a little clearer or brighter, or that your intuition seems to be more connected than it was before. So some call it spiritual flu or ascension flu. Others talk about a healing crisis. Now, I know a lot of spiritual people, and that doesn't mean that you can't be spiritual without it, but there are a lot of spiritual people who have suffered from some sort of actual physical ailment. For some, it's cancer or lupus or some big healing autoimmune disease. For me, it was depression and anxiety and going through suicidal thoughts, which if you've read my book, you would have read about my journey. So if you want to know more about that, Google Good Little Church Girl Ascends, and you can find my book on Amazon and read more. But for me, the fact of going through one of these big illnesses is that anytime a healing crisis happens, it's called a healing crisis, right? Not an illness crisis. So a healing crisis is when our physical body is trying to catch up to what our spiritual body is going through and learning and growing from. And sometimes we have these amazing awarenesses and we learn something about ourselves and we grow and we feel amazing and we're on top of the world. And then suddenly we crash and we are sick as a dog, or it seems like everything's going wrong in our life and we just want to shut the door and not get out of bed. Well, that's a healing crisis, because sometimes our physical body needs time to catch up to where our mental awareness is. So our spiritual and mental awareness need to coincide with our physical body. And they're not always working or resonating at the same frequency and catching up with one another. So I share this because for me personally, when I have one of those healing crises and I'm feeling like I just cannot get my butt out of bed, I'm too tired or too sick or too can't be bothered to do it, that I always remember that on the other side, that things feel different. That as an energy healer, once I've gone through one of those healing crises, my body, my awareness, my abilities as a healer are always heightened on the other side. Something changes that I'm able to help people more or quicker or in a different way. That my intuition is more connected. that I can see things, sense things, feel things that I wasn't able to before. So we can see the silver lining or the blessing in going through a healing crisis, knowing that on the other side, that it's going to be more glorious, that our physical body has caught up to our spiritual and mental body. So that's something about Ascension to be aware of. The other thing to be aware of around Ascension is you may find that the more you discover yourself and the more you let go of who you think other people think you should be. A lot of people talk about letting go of masks, taking off a mask and seeing who you really are. The more you connect to your heart, to your soul purpose, to your truth, you may find that other people around you react differently. So there will be people who resonate with what you're doing and move from being kind of sort of a friend to like your best friend that you talk to about everything, because you understand the spiritual journey you're on. Other people you might find might just slip away and you don't end up talking to people anymore, or you get in fights with people that you've gotten along with your whole life and you end up drifting apart. And this is okay, because when you're working on your spiritual journey, it's about you. And sometimes your vibration changes. So as you're letting go of the crap of your past, or even past lives, or spiritual ancestral drama or energy, as you let go of that, you're going to vibrate at a higher frequency, and then a higher frequency, and then a higher frequency. And just like in magnets, like attracts like, if you're vibrating at this frequency, someone who's up here might not vibrate with you, and likewise someone who's here vibrationally might not vibrate with you. So those friends who used to be in your circle might just fall away because you're not vibrating at the same frequency, and that's okay. If you ever feel alone in part of your ascension process, I find it really helpful to ask the spirits or angels or guides, whoever you feel most connected with, and say, hey, can you reveal more of my soul family to me? I'm feeling a little alone or lost. I just need someone here on earth that gets me. And it might be that you meet someone in person, or it might be that you find someone like me recording a video like this that resonates with you and you realize that you're not alone, that we are on the spiritual journey together and that we can support one another. The other thing I wanted to touch on about Ascension is that a lot of people feel that if I'm saying you vibrate here or vibrate here, that those who are vibrating at this frequency are better than those that are here. And that's totally not the case. We are all on our own journey of self-discovery. Our ascension path is as unique to us as our fingerprint is. We all have to go through our own learnings. We all have to discover our own inner truth, because my inner truth is not your inner truth, except for the fact that, of course, that we are all spirit beings here on earth. So if you're here to discover something different than I am, than they are, than someone else is, it doesn't matter where you are on your journey. What matters is that you're consciously aware that you are growing and learning and developing from all of life's experiences. The way I picture it in my head is like a staircase. And I might be on this rung of the staircase and you might be above me or below me, but I like to think that those above on the rungs are reaching down to help those below. And for each person who's one step ahead, there's always someone they can reach down to help on the ascension path, and there's always someone you can reach up to for support. It's not an ego-based thing. Those that I reach up to for support are not better than me. They haven't done more work than me that makes them superior. It's that they've just experienced a bit more that means they have the experience to help me on my next step. And likewise, that's why I'm here. I love helping other people to discover their inner truth. I love helping people to look at their life experiences and go, hold on, if this is part of my ascension journey, what's it all about? So I hope this has answered some of your questions about the word ascension, what ascension means. If you are looking for support on your ascension journey, I actually have a Facebook group that is free to join, open to anyone, called Ascension Support, that you can find on Facebook. and I'll put the link below this video as well. And we'd love to have you there. We talk about crystals, essential oils, astronomy, and all things Ascension. I also share energy updates. So if there's anything going on in the world, like solar flares or other things that are disrupting the energy of our physical bodies, I share updates in there as well. So let me know what you think below. Comment, like, share, submit, join me here on my YouTube page, and good luck on your ascension journey. And I hope we can all support each other to live more consciously. Mwah.